No, that's wrong. Dixie Diamonds, 155. Metz, Isabel Falls, Dixie, 8:27 p.m. Balloony, breaking free from Z's telepathic spine via Brent Carter Brentsy's five senses, mentally returned Z's allies to terra firma and said, "All right, everyone, we're clear, so feel free to speak. Terra firma. Noun, dry land. The ground is distinct from the sea or air." "He's having quite a go with Brentsy, wasn't he?" Eddie said with a chuckle. "I'm hoping that Lawlor's and Reed Jeffries handling us is truly indicative that they're viewing us as assets rather than suspects." "It would seem that way," Balloony replied. "I have to admit that I'm tempted to establish a telepathic bond with Agent Jeffrey and scratch the surface of his thoughts, but I don't think it's worth the risk. The last thing we want is for him or anyone else involved with the investigation to get an inkling that any sort of telepathic entity, whether a machine of Brentsy's or a revendu of Pilatre's, is still operational or alive. Inkling, noun, a slight knowledge or suspicion, a hint." "Why was he laughing at the Batman?" Cheeky asked. "I mean, why was the agent laughing at Brentsy? It seems cruel, like a predator playing with his victim before killing and eating it rather than just killing it quickly. I didn't like it." "That's a good observation and a fair question," Lizzie said softly. "Agent Alley is baiting him, Cheeks. He's trying to get Brentsy so upset that Brentsy loses control and blurts something out in anger that he would otherwise keep secret. He's also repeating the threat to Brentsy concerning him winding up on that island out Lake McKay. It's awfully hot there right now, and Allie's description of the prison is designed to get him to confess what he's done or what he knows in order to avoid pain. It's the same thing Cochon was doing with Joey and Pilatre." "Speaking of Cochon," Karen said, "how are you doing, Joey, and how is poor Pilatre? It must be even harder for him than for you, since he's incommunicado while you're getting updates and are able to chat." Joey telepath, "Optimism is rising for both of us, and while it is true that Pilatre is not able to hear our conversation, he knows I am communicating with you, and I am confident that he has faith in my ability to clue him in without alerting our jailers about important advances. His tarot cards are rather helpful." "What are tarot cards?" Jerald asked. Joey, laughing out loud in response to Jerald's question, garnered her a quizzical look from Pilatre, who prompted her to smile at him and say, "I was just thinking how like tarot cards your hieroglyphic squares are." "Because they use ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs like the original Mamluk?" Pilatre asked. Joey, laughing and shaking her head, said, "Since I have no idea what the Mamluk were, I cannot say. But what I meant was, since we are trying to communicate via a medium that is extremely ambiguous, that your cards might be compared to the reading of tarot cards." Shaking his head vigorously, Pilatre said, "Oh, Baroque," while laughing. "Please do not associate my cards with divining nonsense and superstition of the tarot." "I know you heard voices that I did not," he said with a grin, "but that's no reason to untether from reality and believe that our desire to see into the future is somehow granted when we deal the tarot and then subjectively decree what our dealt cards mean. My cards are designed to stimulate the intellect," he continued, sweeping his hand over his toilet paper constructions, "not banish it with superstitious nonsense," he added with a wink and triple eyebrow raise. "I stand firmly with Descartes concerning his cogito ergo sum as proof that we exist, but I cannot grant him his next leap of faith with his proclamation concerning proof of God's existence being obvious to those who pay close attention, being as demonstrable as having 3 angles equal to 2 right angles, being inseparable to the essence of a triangle. While he may be right concerning a deity, rather than an indisputable reflection of reality, it is safe to say that his triangular reasoning is what Freud later called projection of the subconscious. However, we are all products of our time, and it is by standing on the shoulders of those who came before us that our horizons grow." Tapping the table, he added, "Your move."